Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fast Fusion. We're going to the third cup of the Grand Prix, where we go to space.
I feel like we're in a fucking groundhog loop without every part against the title screen. Welcome back to part one of Fast Fusion. Because I guess it's appropriate. It's a racing game. We're going in laps.
I will say it is really nice how fast this game loads, considering like the graphics are pretty damn good, and it's like all 4K and shit, right? Because this is a Switch 2 game.
4K is 30 FPS, and it's a little bit fuzzy, but yeah, I think this is 1080p.
Okay. Yeah, because this is like always one of the things is that they've made a fast game, I think, for every console since the Wii. Damn, I thought it was the Wii U was the first one. Like, it's always, these developers just always really like showing off what the consoles can do. Because I remember looking at footage of the Wii U one and being like, this still looks pretty damn good for the time. So, and like, yeah, this does look pretty sweet. There honestly have not been that many games on the Switch 2 so far. Now, granted, this is very early in the Switch 2's life cycle. We're less than 6 months in at the time of this recording.
Yeah, we should be stressed.
Yeah. A lot of Nintendo's big games for the Switch 2 haven't... I want to word this right so that I'm not, like, completely talking out of my ass and sounding more harsh than I mean to. They haven't showcased in the graphics in a way where the actual, like, fidelity is the point. By that I mean, like, Mario Kart World, like, the game looks, on average, about the same as Mario Kart 8 does. A little bit better on overall. But it's more about, like, it looking better than Mario Kart 8 while in an open world, as opposed to, like, if it were a track-by-track thing like by Mario Kart 8 and looking leagues better at that time. Same thing with Donkey Kong, where Donkey Kong, like, on an individual level-by-level basis, doesn't look outstanding, but it's the fact that every level is completely destructible is supposed to be the technical feat there.
Couldn't you argue, though, that was never Nintendo's MO?
No, it hasn't.
They are pushing 4K, though, so it does need to look a little bit.
But that's resolution, but not graphical fidelity. Yeah. That's a different thing.
They are also pushing the 120 frames per second thing. Like, every time they get a game that can do it, they make a big deal about it. Metroid. Metroid is going to be a 120 frame per second game on a console, which you guys would know better, is still very rare even on, like, PlayStation 5 and Xbox.
Well, on consoles specifically, yes.
Yeah. If you have a beefy enough rig, you can get it on most games.
Yeah.
I always kind of discount PC when talking about specs. Not to discount PC people, because PC people, you know, you can make your PC do everything, but you also have to, like, invest in making and maintaining a gaming PC to get the highest fidelity graphics constantly.
Yeah, at the same time, you can't like wholesale dismiss it, because they are, at the end of the day, what consoles are competing against. That
is true. I guess it's a hard thing to benchmark. I guess is the point I'm trying to make, because the PC version of anything is going to always look the best, but you also need to make sure that you have the best graphics card for this point, and the best RAM, and the best kilobucks. I don't know.
Teraflippies.
The teraflops. Teraflops are a real word. I remember when they
teraflops and doodads. Wop, bop, bop.
I remember. I think it was when the PlayStation 4 and Xbox Series S were first announced. They were talking about, like, teraflops in the hardware presentation, and I'm like, that's not a real word. You're making shit. But the point I had about PC games is that, like, if you have a PC from 3 years ago and you're playing a brand new game, will that game look better than what you get on console? I would say probably not substantially. So that's why I always say, like obviously the PC is going to have the best specs. It's just also not a useful benchmark to me personally when comparing game performances across systems, because it's like, okay, yes, PC will always look the best. That's just kind of how it is. And that's why you play PC and go through the hassle of updating your system all the time, is because you want the games to look and run the best possible.
It's not even just the PC. It's just at times shit just doesn't work.
Oh, dude.
For various reasons, and it's just like I don't like the headache of dealing with that.
Oh, the worst time to like play PC games was like right around the time Windows Vista launched. That was like what, 2005, I think.
Around there, yeah.
Because all of the old games that like me and my dad had,
Didn't work.
for like Windows 2000 and Windows 98, just didn't work. And there were a couple of PC games that I wanted to play around that time too, like Spore. I remember was a big one. I really wanted Spore, and I got it for Christmas, and we spent like an hour trying to get the damn thing to run. It was a absolute nightmare. Point being, don't run Windows Vista. I know, extremely controversial point with our staggeringly relevant copy.
Who the hell? When's the last time this has been relevant in any form or fashion in any conversation?
It's just funny. I remember in the 2000s, like everybody was like, "Oh, Windows Vista," and like just saying the words Windows Vista was itself a punchline.
I think it's because they were replaced XP, and XP was considered at that time the last good Windows OS.
Yeah. Actual point being the Switch 2 is beefy enough to handle stuff to look good. I would say I don't really think games look bad on it. It's getting Resident Evil 9 of all things, so it's obviously got to have some level of power in the thing. So,
I mean, you say that, but and I'm not sure this is necessarily a Switch 2 thing, or just because the game's not out yet and Capcom still has a lot of rough edges to file down. But again, we're recording this off of the most recent direct on September 12th, and I thought that footage looked rough. Like I couldn't stop looking at the hair.
No, the hair definitely was just kind of mad.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's a Switch 2 issue or if that's just the game is still in development.
Have they shown a trailer on other hardware?
They've shown it on PC from like the Game Awards and stuff, or the Summer Games Fest and stuff.
Okay.
Is it off the top of my head? I can't remember if it looked any better.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I always feel like, oh, okay, bye. Smushed by another Star Wars car that I can't remember the name of. Yeah, I don't know. The thing I'm thinking about the Resident Evil, and yeah, it did look very kind of like PlayStation 4-esque. Like, a game I liked on PlayStation 4 a lot was Control. It looked about similar in graphical fidelity to that. And Control was a game that came out in like 2019. So, like, I mean, I guess that's the thing. When you've got a portable hybrid console, you're always taking a hit on the graphics, right? Like that's the trade-off you get for being able to take it everywhere, isn't it? That you lose a little bit of the fidelity on the big screen.
Yeah. Well, also, I believe the port, the port itself, where you hook the console up, powers up the device as well. Because like there were some games that I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, on the Switch 1 where if you like a handheld ran at 720, but you had to dock it in order to get 1080p.
For Switch 1, so for Switch 1, that was just kind of like a software mode that they enabled to save battery. Like, because Switch 1 games can run at 1080p in handheld mode. You just won't see anything because it's a 720p screen. Fun fact, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition on Switch 1 runs at 1080p on handheld mode, even though the screen is only 720p. So the game's just wasting battery and resources to run the game at a resolution you cannot see. But what that means is now if you play it on Switch 2, you do see it in 1080p on the 1080p Switch 2 screen, which is very funny. But for Switch 2, I believe there is some sort of doohickey in the actual dock, where if you play it on docked mode, the system can access resources it does not have when playing in handheld. So
the dock is more than just an HDMI output device.
Yeah, exactly. I believe there was a game in the Direct yesterday that said in dock mode you can get 120 frames per second. I just forget which one it is. Because God forbid I remember something from 24 hours ago. Jeez.
No, I don't remember which one it is either.
But it definitely happened, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not gaslighting.
There never was a BrainScratch.
Oh, shit.
You've been in the insane asylum for the last 15 years.
They say that he's still
I thought, I should have known when they kept calling me Ted. It's Teed. I should have seen the writing on the wall.
If you land off the track, do you die?
It counts as a crash and you just get respawned, yeah.
Okay. Alright, now this is extremely off topic. Any of you guys play Excite bots on the Wii?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Was that supposed to be? Was in the same universe or like realm of Excite Bike?
Yeah. So Excite Bike, there's Excite Bike, and then for the Wii launch, there was Excite Truck, which is basically just a glorified tech demo, where it's just like, oh look, it's a racing game where you can use the motion controls to drive a truck, and it's like a monster truck kind of thing, and you can smash the cars and whatnot. It's fine. Excite Truck for the Wii is like excessively fine. However, randomly, like 3 years later, they released a sequel called Excite Bots, which is one of the best racing games I've played in my entire life. Game is insane. So
is that the one where you can play music from your SD card?
Yes, you can play whatever music. It's like the only game on the console to use that feature, but you can put in whatever music you want on an SD card.
Hell yeah, all the Gary Newman.
Yeah. So the thing about it is that you don't win the race by coming in first. You win the race by earning points. And you earn points for coming in first, obviously, but you also earn points for crashing into stuff and making sick tricks. Or in Excitebot's case, which is why this game's so awesome, you can find a set of bowling pins and then run through them, and if you get a strike, you earn points. Or you'll find a dart, and then a dartboard will appear in front of you, and then you got to throw the dart, and if you get a bullseye, you get more points. And then the game's just absolutely unhinged. And something about this game just kind of reminds me of it, only not unhinged. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you should all go and play Excitebots, because that's the best racing game ever made. Yeah.
Is that one word?
Unhinged? Yes.
Is it? No. Excitebots. Is that
Excitebots.
one word? Or
It's all one word.
It's one word.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the X is so large.
Yes. And then like you can be like a frog and a like a beetle and all sorts of like weird shit. It's just such a bizarre game because they announced it like a month before the game actually came out in like 2008 or 9.
Did you play Excite Bike World Rally?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that was a Wii release. Okay.
Yeah, because WiiWare games, like the Wii had so little storage, you could hold like 2. So between like Mega Man 9 and like the 2 other WiiWare games I owned, I didn't have space for more, or my Virtual Console games. It's just like I do not have enough download space in order to hold another WiiWare game. Because at that point, I believe SD cards weren't like as ubiquitous as they were today. Like I couldn't just find one, unfortunately.
Interesting. And this game was never re-released.
Nope.
In any form or fashion.
Well, it's also it's motion control based for the gameplay.
Ah, I see.
So I mean, they could port it to, you know, it doesn't really use the pointer, so
yeah, anything's possible.
It would be fairly easy to port, but you know. Anyway, play Excitebots. I love that game.